Yo, what's up guys? Yeah, pokeaimMD here, coach of the Bronx Beartics with my Week 6 team preparation, team showcase, whatever you want to call it, video. This is a team building video for the Heated Mo, who I am playing in Week 6 of the UCL. The Toronto Togekiss is his team's name. And yeah, if you guys don't know what the UCL is, there's a playlist down below. Pretty much it's a draft league where we draft Pokemon. We can see what our opponent wants to bring. And basically, you try and counter team them throughout the entire league, make it to playoffs, and try and win. So I'm involved in this. I've been involved in this since last year, so over a year already. This is the second season. There was season 1. There was an off season. Now this is the second season. But yeah, if you guys want to check out any of the previous battles or any of the previous weeks or team builders, there's a playlist down below. There's a link to it. So yeah, go ahead and knock yourself out, enjoy yourself. I always love looking back at, not even mine, but even other people's team building videos, because I also refresh my memory and I get ideas from things as well. But in any case, this week we are building for Mo. Now, if you guys are new to how I do these videos, basically I create a team of 6 that can take on any combination of 6 that my opponent wants to bring. So whether his most obvious choices are Jirachi, Volcarona, Chansey, Crobat, Mega Swampert, Cobalion, or he brings Rotom, Cut, Cinccino, Qwilfish, Miltank, Cobalion, Mega Swampert, anything like that, I want to make sure I'm prepped for it, because it would suck if, let's say, I'm not prepped for a random Rain Dance Mantine or Specs Mantine, something like that. Okay, let's just say Rain Dance Mantine. That's Rain Dance Air Slash, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, something like that. Anyway, it would suck if I lost that because of my prep, and that's my fault completely. Props to my opponent, for making a set that I didn't prep for, but that's my fault because I obviously have the potential, or I have the ability, not the potential, but I have the ability to prep for whatever my opponent can bring because I can see what the hell they have. But in any case, I built this team with my boy Tony Flagon. Big shout outs to him. It was nice at 4 o'clock in the morning his time. It was only about 11 for me, I think. Maybe close to 12. He was watching the Olympics, so he was up. So I was like, hey man, you want to build? And we did. Tony and I build a lot together, and we always go really, really in depth with our builds and really make spreads that we feel work really well for it. So I like this build. Anyway, this week we are bringing Choice Scarf Garchomp. That's the first Pokemon that we have out. Now I wanted to bring Choice Scarf Garchomp because Jirachi, it's outsped. Volcarona is outsped. We also outspeed Adamant Swampert in the rain with its Swift Swim, as well as gives us a reliable check to SD Cobalion / Combine Cobalion. And it pretty much just gives us a Mon with a speed tier that outspeeds his entire team, outside of maybe Scarf Cobalion, which by the way with HPS does not knock out Garchomp, or Scarf Liepard. So it's pretty much outspeeds his entire team. It has Rock Slide, that way we can deal with a +1 Volcarona if that thing gets out of hand. We have a few checks for Volcarona, so it's not the biggest, I mean it's definitely a threat, but I have answers for it. Dragon Claw, just because we don't really have to spam Dragon moves versus him until late game. He doesn't have a Fairy type. He has 2 Steel types, being Jirachi and Cobalion. So if I see fit, and let's say he has his last Mons or Crobat and maybe Liepard, I want to lock myself into Outrage. Though I do want to be careful about Copycat Liepard, which is something we'll get into later. But just enough speed to outspeed Jirachi, max attack, and then the rest in Sped Def. Again, Earthquake is probably going to be spammed in this battle since he has 2 Pokemon that are, or 3 Pokemon, excuse me, that are immune to Earthquake, being Crobat, Rotom, Cut, and Mantine. But again, I could just weaken them with Dragon Claw. And Choice Scarf Garchomp just gives me that insurance versus Quiver Dance boosted Volcarona versus any variant of Jirachi outside of Sugar Berry. But again, I have ways of dealing with certain variants of Jirachi. But this just gives me a nice check to Pokemon, and even a late game potential, I'm going to call it a broom or sweeper, whatever. I guess that's more accurate. But just something that can potentially win late game. And I chose Rough Skin because there's no point in Sandvale in this game. He's not going to use Sandstorm. He doesn't have Tyranitar or Hippowdon. And I do not see him using Sandstorm, like Liepard, I guess, if it gets Sandstorm. If anything, it'd be Rain Dance Liepard. But next up, we have the captain of the Bronx Beartics, Manaphy. Now, Manaphy puts in a ton of work versus my opponent's set, whether it be Calm Mind, Tail Glow, a defensive set. I actually opted for a defensive set just because this gives me a straight-up check and answer to Mega Swampert. It can beat Cobalion with Scald Burns. It can beat Volcarona if Volcarona does not set up. It beats defensive Jirachi variants or Scarf Jirachi variants. As well as being able to check Cinccino, checks Qwilfish, doesn't care about Toxic Spikes because of Hydreigon. Or Hydreigon? What? Hydration. It's Hydreigon, that's the way I pronounce it. Hydration. And also can beat down any variant of Mantine. So this also helps me deal with Curse Miltank because I can stall it out and wear it down and stall it out of Heal Bell. So we're running a physically defensive set with 20 speed. That way we outspeed Adamant, Max Speed, Mega Swampert. We're not 2 KO by Mega Swampert's Earthquake anyway. I'm running Rain Dance, Scald, Toxic Rest. I actually use this set, I think, versus Nexus, if I'm not mistaken, in one of our games last year. And pretty much the defensive set allows me to take hits from Crobat, Jirachi. This beats Chansey 1v1. With Rest and Rain Dance, I pretty much heal all the way back up to full. Any status, I do heal all the way back up to full, and Chansey cannot touch me. And Toxic lets me wear down Chansey. Toxic is also nice just because it cripples switch-ins like Rotom Cut, it cripples Mantine, it beats Chansey, and also if Volcarona is Toxic, it's no longer an issue at all. But physically offensive was just the main set. We opted for this over Calm Mind just because this just gave us options of beating Mantine as well. Calm Mind set would have been Calm Mind over Toxic, and then a random Mantine. It would suck, right? If just a Pokemon like Mantine, even though I like Mantine actually, but it would suck if just Mantine, one Pokemon in general, just completely stopped this Pokemon from doing anything. So we opted for Toxic over a boosting set. I think it's a lot more reliable versus him, as well as just gives me a nice way of wearing him down. I can burn Crobat with Scald. I don't have to worry about being frozen by a random Ice Beam from maybe Mantine and something like that, because obviously Scald and then Rain Dance Hydration as well is there. And also Rain Dance as a whole also weakens his fire type moves from Volcarona. I really want to bring this as well to take advantage of the fact that if he does bring Mega Swampert plus Liepard and he uses Rain Dance, I mean, he's helping me. Not only is he boosting my Scald, but I can rest up and stall out his Rain. I can Toxic him, I can Scald burn him. I think Scald does around 40-something% to Swampert in the Rain. Maybe a little bit more with the Rain, close to 50% definitely if he's not running any HP. But Manaphy just abuses his team so well, and I really wanted to bring it. Also, I don't worry about Quillfish at all because I absorb Toxic Spikes due to hydration, meaning that I don't absorb Toxic Spikes for the entire game, but I can't be killed by poison because of hydration if Rain is up. And yeah, basically just enough speed to outspeed Mega Swampert. Adamant Mega Swampert. I think that's the only speed mark I really cared too much about. The only Miltank set that's beating me is Curse Miltank, and I'd be faster than that anyway after a Curse. And plus, though I think we actually speed tie because we're both base 100 speed. I probably have more speed than him anyway. And plus, if I Toxic him enough and wear him down between this and between the few other members on my team that you guys will see, I beat it anyway, and I stall it out of Heal Bells regardless. It only has 8 Heal Bells anyway. So the Rain is really nice just because it supports Volcarona's not like fire move not doing much. Also, Ground typing Garchomp prevents Rotom Cup from spamming Volt Switch versus me, and I do have answers for Leaf Storm as well, as you guys will see. Next up, we have Snorlax, my boy CBB. This is a very nice, I think it's a very nice set for this game. We're running Curse Snorlax with Body Slam, Earthquake, Curse, and Rest. 40 HP EVs because that is a leftovers number, so we getting 15 HP per turn if I'm not mistaken. 124 attack because this allows us... Okay, let me give you the scenario, which is more than likely gonna happen. I have a +1 Snorlax, so Curse, +1 attack, +1 defense, and my opponent switches into Cobalion. If Cobalion goes for close combat, it's at -1, and Earthquake 100% KOs it. 100% KOs it with the 124 attack investment. Also, most likely this thing I will be spamming Body Slam. With 124 attack EVs, I do 2 KO Volcarona. If it is defensive Volcarona, I'm not too worried about that. I have ways of dealing with that. I Toxic Stall it, and then Curse Lax beats it anyway. The 100 defense investment... allows me to take about 50-something% from Cobalion, as well as we take Earthquakes from Mega Swampert. It's mainly because I did not need the rest of defense on this Pokemon, because the 244 special defense allows me to beat Volcarona, a Timid +2 Volcarona, and I would think he would bring Timid versus me. He could bring Modest, but Timid +2 Volcarona does not 2-hit KO me after leftovers recovery with Bug Buzz, and Body Slam easily 2-hit KOs any Volcarona set unless it's defensive, in which case I have answers to, as well as this thing beats it 1v1. I do have Thick Fat as well, so I do resist the fire attacks that you can go for, as well as ice type attacks if he wants to throw them out, like I said, random Ice Beam on Pokemon, or Ice Punch from Mega Swampert, or random Ice Beam from Mantine, excuse me. Pretty sure that Mon does learn Ice Beam if I'm not mistaken. It's a water type. I'm pretty sure I've used Specs Mantine back in Black and White NU. Ice Beam. Yep. Anyway, don't know why I had to check that. I don't like I want to tell the truth, you know. Anyway, Snorlax just, with the curse, it honestly beats his entire team. This beats Chansey, we have rest for recovery, though it is taking 2 turns. He doesn't have anything that can really pressure this Mon if it's asleep. Also, I'm not going to give him opportunities to set up if my Snorlax is asleep. Now, the Snorlax also with Earthquake and Body Slam pretty much hits his entire team. Earthquake allows us to deal with Calm Mind Jirachi or any variant of Jirachi as well as Cobalion, and Body Slam literally hits everything else. Next up, we have Hard Body, my Reuniclus. We're running Flame Orb, Magic Guard, Trick. Now, really fun set this week because if I'm able to trick something like Jirachi, for example, that's one of his main switches to Reuniclus. I don't think Chansey should come in because Calm Mind, Side Shock beats Chansey 1v1. Calm Mind Psychic beats Chansey 1v1 too, unless it's like a Calm Mind Chansey. But Trick Flame Orb, pretty much it beats anything that wants to come in on this. That would be what Live Part of Jirachi. There's 2 main switches you could have, and if I give that thing a Flame Orb, it's burnt. I take its leftovers or whatever item it's running. Pretty much, I'm just getting rid of. It's kind of like using knockoff versus a Pokemon. Also, if he goes up to Volcarona, that wouldn't matter anyway because we get rid of its whatever item it's running, whether it's leftovers, Life Orb, anything, and that severely weakens it. So, hoping to catch Jirachi because that means that one Snorlax and Manaphy 100% beat it after it's already been tricked the Flame Orb. Garchomp can reliably Earthquake to beat it down. We're running physically defensive with 28 special attack investment. 28 special attack investment ensures that we knock out Liepard with Signal Beam 100% after. Well, it's 87.5 min, I think. And since Pokemon rounds down, that's 87. And since Stealth Rock is 12.5%, Stealth Rock rounds to 12. So we pretty much beat it after rocks. Not that it can come in on us anyway. We have answers for it. But the main reason I wanted Signal Beam over Calm Mind, and we talked about this, is because something like Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse Copycat, Liepard, which gets priority in Dark Pulse if it used it prior, then it can just copycat itself with Prankster. Something like that would be very, very annoying, and I do not want to give it any opportunity to set up. It can't set up on anything. It has to take a strong Earthquake. It has to take Body Slam from Snorlax, Scald from Manaphy. I mean, everything can eat a hit. Literally everything can eat a +2 Dark Pulse on the team outside of Reuniclus, or maybe my Tangrowth. However, there's also that option that it can flinch me, and Dark Pulse does have the option to flinch, and of course it would be priority if he uses Copycat. So I wanted a way of hitting that thing, preventing it from setting up. And Psychic is also just a 2-hit KO. Cobalion, this thing can sponge hits from Cobalion, as well as potentially tricking it. If it is Calm Mind Cobalion, Garchomp does Revenge Kill anyway. I just have to find out the set. And I just didn't want to give anything the opportunity to set up outside of Volcarona, but between Manaphy, between Garchomp, between Snorlax, Volcarona really doesn't have too many free turns to set up, and if Stealth Rock are up, I could just spam Psychic versus that. So next up we have my Mega Aggron, Panza, and this set we're not running Heavy Slam this week. Nope. I don't want to give Volcarona a free setup, so I opted for Rock Slide. This also hits Mantine as Defogger, as well as Crobat as Defogger for about 50%. On top of that, we have Earthquake if Crobat wants to roost, but Earthquake also prevents Calm Mind Jirachi from breaking through the team, as well as hits Cobalion, preventing it from setting up too much. Earthquake will do a decent amount, as well as breaking any Shuka Berry on Cobalion if he wants to run that. And Toxic is nice because his main switches to Aggron are like Mega Swampert or like Mantine, so Toxic helps wear them down. It also hits Rotom Cut if he wants to go out to that. I was going to carry Ice Punch, but I wanted a way of dealing with Volcarona. Basically, I don't want to give Volcarona any setup versus my team. I can deal with it if it sets up, but why deal with it with a opposing Mon when I can knock it out? Like, I have the option to knock it out. Especially if Rain is up, then Volcarona cannot knock out my Aggron at all. And because it is Mega Aggron with Filter, obviously, and Rock Slide knocks it out. And then it is Stealth Rock. This is my designated Stealth Rock user, and we are running Special Defensive because it does allow us to deal. We do take Modest, Volcarona's Fire Blast, neutral, as well as just, we don't need defense on this thing to be able to deal with Liepard, to be able to deal with Encino, to be able to deal with Jirachi. Actually, Special Defense works better versus Jirachi, so this can deal with that. Earthquake also hits Quillfish as well. Smacking that thing, like if it wants to try and set up, it is maybe hurt. And basically, we opted for no Heavy Slam just because we wanted the option of Toxic to wear down Swampert or to wear down Liepard. Yeah, we don't knock it out anymore, but we do 2-hit KO Liepard anyway. And Liepard isn't setting up on this thing. This also, we don't have a Dark Resist on our team. We don't actually have a Dark Resist on the team as a whole, but we do have the bulk to power through, I think. And Spadef Aggron just does it well versus him. Last but not least, we are bringing Tangrowth, Lucky. This set We opted for Tangrowth as our last mon because it just gives us support options in knockoff, as well as just give us a 100% Mega Swampert answer that I'm not worried about. The spread we are running is 252 HP, 52 defense, relax, which means that Mega Swampert does not 2-hit KO us with Adamant Ice Punch after Stealth Rock, and we do knock it out 100% with Leaf Storm. We do have 140 attack investment, and that is because it allows us to always knock out Jirachi, max HP Jirachi with knockoff plus Earthquake. Knockoff plus Earthquake 100% knocks out Jirachi, max HP Jirachi. Rock Slide as well, because we do not want to give Volcarona a free setup. So if I'm able to go for Rock Slide and he does switch into Volcarona, because Tangrowth does invite in Pokemon like Volcarona, also invites in Pokemon like Crobat. But knocking off Crobat is great. We could have had Sleep Powder, but I talked more about it. Like, what do we care about Sleep Powdering his team when we can just get rid of his items? And I think that helps it better, especially with Stealth Rock being pressured. And Earthquake again deals with Cobalion as well. If it's SD Cobalion, Earthquake can do a decent amount. I believe it's a 2-hit KO actually on 0 HP Cobalion with the Expert Belt and the 140 attack investment. I'll show you guys right now. Let's see. Tangrowth. Lucky. That's not the set, but it's 140. 140 attack investment. Expert Belt. Expert Belt boosted over Life Orb while we don't lose our HP. That way Swampert can 2-hit KO us, which is why we wanted Expert Belt over that. But this is Cobalion. This is Swords Dance. And as you can see, there's no Earthquake here. However, Earthquake does 46 to 54%. So, why is this thing bold? Oh, whoa. I'll do more. Not bad. It's Relax. Alright, Earthquake does 50 to 60%, excuse me, thank you. So it's a guaranteed 2-hit KO even after Leftovers recovery on Cobalion. And again, if we break Shuka Berries and things like that, like Cobalion doesn't beat us. Combine Cobalion could be a little bit annoying, but I mean, between Earthquake smacking it, him having his best move being Focus Slash, having to hit that, and Scarf Garchomp in the back, I think we're okay versus that. He could be Magnerized Cobalion, but Magnerized SD, I mean, it gets Scalp Burnt, it gets 2-hit KO by Psychic, and it doesn't beat Reuniclus with... It doesn't beat Reuniclus with +2 Iron Head unless it flinches me to death. But Lucky also has Leaf Storm with enough special attack investment to OHKO Liepard 100%. Actually, only 20, I think 20 special attack investment was needed to OHKO Liepard 100% with Leaf Storm. However, this just makes it more powerful. Knockoff also gives us an option in knocking off Rotom as well as Crobat, which is what I'm expecting. Even Chansey, if that wants to come in a Jirachi. And the defense just lets us take on Cincino as well. And Leaf Storm just does a hell of a lot to pretty much everything if it doesn't resist. Knocking off also helps versus something like Curse Miltank, because between knockoff Toxic on my Aggron and Rest on Manaphy, as well as cursing Snorlax, which outright beats it 1v1 unless it's crit, we stall it out of Heal Bells. And having no recovery, it's taking more turn per turn. Rain Boosted Scalds, potential burns, so we can beat that thing. Sorry, I'm like... My voice is like jam man, but I'm thirsty, man. But in any case, that's pretty much going to be the team for this week. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you guys are hyped for another week of the UCL. Hopefully the Bronx Beartics can pull out another win. I think we're pretty safe versus his team. We don't give Volcarona any setup or anything outside of Reuniclus, but we have like 4 million checks to it, as well as just answers in general. And again, I probably won't go for Rock Slide versus Volcarona unless with Tangrowth, for example, unless I do lose if he goes for that. So I will go for Rock Slide, and hopefully we hit. But 140 attack investment, Rock Slide easily knocks out Volcarona, easily. Even defensive Volcarona is almost falling to this, if not falling. I'll show you the bulkiest of Volcaronas. Volcarona, 252, 252. And this will be the bulkiest. The bulkiest, 50. And bold, okay, sure, we'll give you bad dreams, whatever. That's on you, bro. The Rock Slide count. We're doing like, I think 80%ish. Yeah, 77 to 92%. So that's ridiculous to Volcarona. And Volcarona cannot roost on that. It cannot roost on that. It has to kill me. And then I can just revenge kill it with Scarf Garchomp in the back, something like that, or even Snorlax. So that's just an example of that. Mega Aggron as well. Mega Aggron, 50, 12 attack investment, Rock Slide. See, Rock Slide is doing 75 to 89%. Again, it's not roosting on this. Fire Blast is smacking me. We do take Timid Fire Blast stuff, if I'm not mistaken. The hell? Why is it doing so much? Oh, filter. No. Oh, now even then it's smacking me, holy crap. Oh, this is +1, okay, 1, that's +1 for some reason. Well, how is it +1? 2, we don't have any investment. 252. 244. Can you let me type this 4? Calm, sure, calm. As you can see, this is Timid Max, and this is Modest Max. It's not KOing us with Fire Blast. Did I give it this thing adaptability? I gave it download? No wonder it got the +1. Calm down, bro. God. Yeah, but as you see, we do take a neutral Fire Blast. It does 74 to 88.7%. But in any case, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Of course, feel free to leave a like. You can check out the previous weeks if you did not before. They are down below in a playlist, and I will see you guys later. So, cue the outro.